Astra Avisosk. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait, say what now?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears that you're not in that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the—
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions.
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the adventure?
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine.
From when she said, Ad Astra.
So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida?
Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zerus festival, except it was happy. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground, and I was throwing an endless—
You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zerus festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity?
No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too— By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homianis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't—
Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care. But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else.
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine.
Let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we could—
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts. We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off. And after all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages. I've already tried that, but all the key members of the Academia, even the core of 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha.
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly. No way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to—
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. A single doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from what the sages are doing?
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of... Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep...
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the...
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously.
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to...
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Sataria?
Sataria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind? We ran into her basically every time the Subzerus Festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always...
I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Sataria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia.
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries.
The name Sataria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's depth. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many disasters. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Sataria's just hung up on the research opportunity, but she doesn't really support the Academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right?
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their schemes anymore. Right. We must somehow... That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it. From my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the Academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots and have a quick chat with a few of... This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we...
No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now...
Talking style?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fate? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show...
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding her future. Can we...
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Health prospects. Oh, the gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for... many tens of thousands of years? Impossible. Marut, did you two spoil my divination?
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation...
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit...
Is this another one of Satar?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Sumeru City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big...
Speaking of, where did you learn this trick?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing...
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him... I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods.
No problem. Rest easy.
Take it easy.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she always comes...
Nahida, you've really...
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens after...
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? So, if I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right. I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia.
What an admirable...
Sure, but you'll find hard...
So this restaurant has a basement as well?
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well...
Thank you so much. As long as I can make...
So, was that everybody?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida,
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibility. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft...
Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her home? Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So, how...
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple trick. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of, but if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her,
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked...
Yep, possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King. And as long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll...
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly.
Huh? Best of luck.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal,
That is pretty convenient. But why does she have to do this? Can't you...
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now,
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone. And
All right, then let's give it a go tomorrow.
here she comes. Sataria's...
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts, as for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you.
Paimon looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding...
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still...
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about...
Okay then. You just seem to... Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? That's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Heart and...
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all.
Sorry, your new laugh is just so hilarious.
Please pay... The gods are asking. Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sataria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be true.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my... And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and...
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Ooh, she just ran off in a hurry.
Well done. Sataria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you
All I know are some abstract Harava-taught theories. In any case, anyway, enough of that.
He's out of Keem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off... Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still...
Yeah, he's been retired there for...
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormo. He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The academia? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa, Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything.
Come on, Sataria's already started talking with Shishan.
So, Shishan, have you, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something? Wait, did you just say attic? I thought this place didn't have an attic. Also, don't you usually study in the basement?
Well, the restaurant recently added an attic. I've been studying there because it had... Oh, right. Speaking of strange, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything like that.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Gee, Sean, don't tell me that you've come.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the... In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia and treated people as nothing more than
Please, please stop!
Even now, Satari is still trying to run from her problem.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards.
This is the most important part of all.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Macho.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what...
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing...
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you... Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of... I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans. And from... But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of the Scarlet King?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of...
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get up. Please tell me, what can I do?
How much do you know about the
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zeru's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those I've just been working to meet the grand... However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city. And even the sages are still...
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to...
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The Sage... let me see... let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow.
The Academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long...
All right, I trust you.
So, if I were to...
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding. Maybe it's time for me to find a god.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to...
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. She's the one who deserved... Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do...
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway...
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Catherine, we're here! Oh, you are the other...
That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make off. What do you feel is up? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's quiet.
No, I think she's right. It really is a lot quieter than you. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the case for the entire city.
Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe...
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's...
Well, regardless... There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards.
Take it easy.
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
Wait! That guy's a Fatui Harbinger! We can't just leave you here!
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru! Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Is the heater going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no... But what are the Fatui after this time? Yeah, things would be... Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him in the Vidia forest? That has to be the same project. Even though he turned it down, there's no time to lose. Let's go to...
Time to go.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around. You've fallen right into our trap.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs who don't even get scraps for their work. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're here on the orders of a client known only as the Outcast.
The outcast? An outcast from the academia? But why wouldn't the doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat. We'll shut you up.
You're up, Trev.
Following orders.
Quietly now.
That's close enough.
Clouds high. The birds call.
It isn't over yet. Here comes reinforcements.
Nature.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah, looks like we'll have to keep our guards up. But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an ambush. Did he predict that we would try to find Kainari? Going up against smart people is tough. Anyway... Oh, it's the Traveler in Paimon. Kale! It's nice to see... To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a faster rate lately. I'm finding it harder to complete more. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other people's tasks. Oh, Kale! Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? Oh, Master Tainari? You just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago. He left? What? Isn't Tainari always saying that he never wants to leave the Avidia Forest? I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher, but no. I only found out that he left through a message. To leave in such a hurry? I'd guess he had something urgent to... Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia. Impartus Di is something like the Amorta's research base. Many rare shrubs and grasses have been planted there for research. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Partis Di. A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari just decided to work on all of a sudden. Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Partis Di. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now. If you run into Master... Got it. Will do. Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey, this was supposed to be a touching reunion.
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the doctor has shown that his technology can apparently even control human plus. It's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and I was facing the dock. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally pass as a patch of sky.
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust or anything.
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what happened.
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, he didn't mean engraving information into their mind. Instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still within my power to fix. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to...
What a relief. The doctor sure pulled out some hidden cards, but...
I wouldn't be really... I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only a matter of time until he captures my consciousness inside the Akasha.
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the academia, so it's possible he... it feels like he's toying with us. Plus, the doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2 of the Fatum.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party Steve?
Yes, I have. I can see the traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by looking at the direction you were moving. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and see what...
Okay.
Traveler? It is you!
The voice! It's Hypatia!
What a pleasant surprise! It's so nice to see the two of...
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the... what's it called? Satyavada life?
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to... Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Paripurna life?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact with the...
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime when my consciousness made contact with the gods.
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Actually, please wait. I haven't forgotten my remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insight. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection.
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try...
Hold on. I brought some spirit-born ale with me.
We're using that incense again?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help.
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god, my creator, my mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. careless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know, but how is he connected to the divine consciousness that had paid?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic God! Such a noble will! Such sublime emotion! Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filth.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no periporno life, but rather...
Ah! You! Why are you so mean to me? Why is everyone hiding from me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light?
Apasia?
That's how I always thought everything Wait, have I... already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida?
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an... After that, Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida's body? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. I don't think this can be achieved with current human tech. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, "The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness. so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies.
Oh no! Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. She's being extra. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are... Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. Do you think Nahida was telling us to go find help in the desert? But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupying the traveler's body, is...
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated, so it's really hard.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so I trust.
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question.
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always... All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god who is still in the process.
Tainari, did you leave?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, if I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert. Now that you mention it, I knew the academia has never thought particularly highly of less, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation. The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers, and from your description, I don't think they've completed their project. But then, what is the connection between creating a...
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out.
I'll stay here for now. I still want... If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan... Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will...
Time to go.
We finally made it to Caravan... So, just... Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta...
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Haven went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Should I sell after I've done this?
What the... Where did she go? How did we lose them? They were...
More Aramite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the academy.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the academia?
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list. I can't say that. However, had I wished to turn you over to the academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a...
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first... Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interested. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all?
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices a...
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of,
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really have an...
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else.
It's always better to travel with someone you know.
Time to go. Follow the... Time to go.
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else.
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for them.
Seemed to me more like your own Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Hatham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that... I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time.
Has Hatham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's...
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Hatham. I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's... if I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two!
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great, finally! You gotta help us out here.
Yeah, sure looks that way. 2 giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a word I just...
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here.
Someone's calling for us! Oh.
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work?
All right, stop.
Well, this is... Hey, wanna play sardines with 3 people who want to tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sands... Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon.
There's no need to thank me.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we shall return as a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm. I was observing your conflict from afar. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of this.
Oh,
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear.
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the projects. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge." I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain the vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold. They are meaningless to the Academia. I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my act. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all impressed now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra. He somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story...
When I was investigating the matter in the Academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Al-Haytham? Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the Traveler.
Al-Haytham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ainul Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a...
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebot.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth any. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in...
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven you're innocent.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstanding. And now you, Dia. I believe...
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things...
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style.
That's more like it. I miss...
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sands.
Creatures?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in the...
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry.
The winds died down. That means Candace still isn't back yet.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried.
Time to go.
Oh, Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with—
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take. I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go! Gotcha. Teamwork is strength.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up? The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village. I am the chief of Aru Village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Aunt.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms...
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become... Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago...
Another... So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms...
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can...
Everyone in Aru Village needs to... speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper?
Village keeper? Who are they?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity. After a period of training, the academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me...
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, but no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay...
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Mantra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate...
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you would...
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former... Let's start by finding a spot to... Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially... Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins, and the academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent initially. The people of Aru Village greatly resented. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing building, suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright. After that, The people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness.
The soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars contain...
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system...
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably Nahi...
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears... So, what do you make of the story? Really?
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to...
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less, in addition... I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can...
Good! Then you should know that...
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. How can this be? To think. Our Archon has been amongst us.
All right, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this invest, but easier said than done. Especially since we don't...
Excuse me, are you here to help me find...
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa mad?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa.
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you are.
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me...
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was. But I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his...
Sorry. I was only listening in.
All right. But...
The wind knows me.
Sino is super...
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name...
I had...
Huh? You knew...
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to... Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his one summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took... The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again. Only to realize It said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?" Or,
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
"Perhaps." Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. It's also my reason for fighting.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over.
Huh? What did...
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you!
We've cleared everything up!
Really? What? Yeah!
All right. Let's ask the local...